All right, sitting here with Boyd Allen. We're sitting in the jiu-jitsu part of the gym. How are you feeling about the whole gym and, the opening of the new spot?
Yeah, we're quite happy about it. We still got a lot to do, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Like everything, it just takes time and money. So, as we get going, we'll put more into it. But so far, we're doing well.
Walk us through the gym. I mean, we're going to go through the front door now and we're going to be seeing all the different places. I mean, what are all the different facilities you can access in the gym?
So, the facility itself is District Fit, and inside District Fit you have Santon CrossFit, you've got Apex Boxing, Apex Jiu-Jitsu, Lift Coffee. We're going to have a yoga studio in pretty soon. We've got a medical suite with 6 different rooms, a supplement shop, and a barber to close everything off.
How excited are you about this whole gym? I mean, isn't this a dream come true for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted my own gym. I've always wanted to run a clean-cut facility, very industrial type vibe, and it's coming together quite nicely.
What do you think about the gym going forward? Are you going to be producing professional athletes? Is it more of a client-based thing?
Yeah, I think for now it's a client-based sort of training facility, but we do accompany pros if they want to train. And as we get going and we build a better structure, we'll start training professionals as well.
Who are all the main players involved in the game? I mean, who's going to be helping out with the different things?
Oh, jeez, there's a lot of guys. I mean, we've got myself, Craig Tuntis, my younger brother, Luke Hendricks is one of the boxing coaches. My younger brother, Quade's one of the boxing coaches. My younger sister's one of the boxing coaches. We've got different players in the medical suites. Chris from the CrossFit is CrossFit Wanderers, and this is their second branch, which is CrossFit Santon. Paya from Live Coffee, she's started her first branch at Performance Purist, where I do my strength and conditioning, and now she's come and started her second branch of Live Coffee here in District Fit. So yeah, we've got a nice little team of people. We've got Chris Wilson doing the BJJ classes as well, and we've got Richie Kwan as our head black belt coach. He's here quite often, and he does competition type style classes. So yeah, we've got a nice group of people that we're going to build around.
When people walk into the gym, where will they find you mostly in this facility?
Sure, I'm normally probably at the coffee shop. No, I'm in the boxing and the jiu-jitsu area most of the times, pretty much because we either training or coaching. I'm still rolling quite a lot, so I'm chasing my brown belt, so that's my next goal. Obviously just coming off a loss in the boxing world. I'd like to also focus a little bit on my ground. I neglected it just training for the boxing fights, and as you know, I'm an all-round athlete, so I like to do a lot of everything. So yeah, I'm putting a little bit of time into that, and then we'll probably get a little MMA class going. So yeah, we're going to have a mixture of different arts.
How often are we going to be bumping into Richard Kwan at the Apex gym?
He'll probably be here once a week, by the sounds of things, and that's where he'll do his competition type style class.
He's still obviously talking a lot to Richie, and obviously, I mean, he's got a great mind. I mean, Why wouldn't you lean on a mind like that? I mean, are you gaining knowledge even now from him?
Yeah, I mean, I constantly learn from Rich. We're very close as well. We've been together for quite a while as training partners, students and coach as well, for about going on 9 years, so almost 10 years. So yeah, we are very close, and I learn a lot from him all the time.
Let's switch over to the boxing. You recently took your first loss as a professional boxer.
Yeah.
What was the emotions? Obviously, you've had some time to think about and digest things. What's your emotions now from it?
Yeah, look, it was a pretty strange feeling in the sense that I kind of felt like I was in a bit of a dwell in a sense. And first loss in the boxing world, but not my first loss in the fight game. So I'm not accustomed to not losing. I can take a loss like I can take a victory, and I think that's important in the sport. You've got to know how to win, and you've got to know how to lose before you know how to win. Not all the time, obviously, but you're never going to win all of them unless you're one of the greats, i.e. Mayweather, John Jones, Khabib, that type of style. But those are very few and far between in the world today. But yeah, I think it's just on to the next step and just get better and keep growing.
What's next for you in boxing? I mean, that tournament concluded. Have you sat down and thought about what's next for you?
Yeah, so I'll probably be competing on the first card of next year for Golden Gloves, and then we'll take it from there. Probably work my way up to a title shot again.
Is it inconceivable for a trilogy fight, or are you moving on to sort of someone else now?
No, I think there's a possibility of a trilogy fight. Obviously, he would have to, go and do his thing, have a few fights, defend his titles. I'd have a few fights, work my way back up. That's how it works in the rankings. You got to build yourself up to be number one contender again. And I'm happy to do so. This is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight.
Well, it seems like the division, there's a lot of people being added, like sort of overnight to the division. There's a lot of names out there. It's not exactly like maybe some of the heavier divisions in South Africa, which are a bit thin.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys to fight. I know you don't call people out, but is there anyone that you'd potentially like to make a comeback against?
Sure. Actually, to be honest, I don't really know. I think I'd obviously like to fight an international. I've always said that, and I like to test myself against internationals. Other than that, I'm not really too sure.
So basically, to come back, would you be happy with a 10-round fight, 12-round, or would you like to go back to maybe a 6 or an 8?
Oh, sure. I think I was only given the option of a 6 and an 8-rounder once in my career, and I'm only 7 fights in. So I mean, I'm not unhappy with either or. I don't mind fighting a 10 or a 12-rounder again, and it's experience, it's time in the ring. So yeah, I'm cool with whichever we get.
I want to ask an obvious fan question, because it's not inconceivable that you might consider going back to MMA one day. I mean, maybe it's an option for you right now, it's boxing, but do you ever see yourself maybe like going back again one day if the options maybe slow down in boxing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what being a mixed martial artist is. You compete in different arts, in different sports, jiu-jitsu, boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, whatever it is, something challenging. I enjoy the challenge of different sports, and I put myself in the deep end in all the different sports straight away. So I mean, if the opportunity comes about that I could compete in an MMA event in a good promotion that pays well, then yeah, I will.
Well, you've always done well for yourself wherever you are. Your records usually are a lot more positive than they are negative.
Yeah.
In terms of boxing now, and we talked about maybe fighting some of the up-and-coming guys,
Yeah.
and you talked about international guys. Are you talking about someone that's maybe also on the emerging scene?
Yeah, I think so. I think someone up and coming as well, maybe working their way towards a title shot. I think that's probably the best way to go. And like in any sport, if you don't fight the best, then you aren't the best. So I'd like to fight guys at a high caliber, and I think I can push myself to get to that level.
What motivates you though in boxing now? Is it the belts? What exactly is it?
Yeah, I've never chased the belts. The belts don't really mean much to me, to be honest. It's just about the experience, and I love the art. So I love the sport for what it is, and I try to be as best I can at what I'm doing. So if it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's MMA, whether it's boxing, I want to be right at the top. So that's my goal.
Who's at the top at the moment in boxing in South Africa, do you feel?
Sure. I think Kevin Narina is obviously one of the bigger names, and actually I know he's the biggest name in South African boxing, and I think he's going to get onto the international scene in quite a big way pretty soon, so I'm looking forward to that. I think Rowan Campbell, you've got Rowan Campbell, Rainer Liebenberg, two of the biggest names in South African boxing, and I really enjoy watching Ricardo Malajika. I think he's a great little boxer. Rock Knapp, I mean, he put on a great performance against his now stablemate Tristan Trutter. So yeah, I think we've got a lot of up-and-coming boxers. I really enjoy watching Lorato Lights Out. I think he's an awesome boxer. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys. Maruti from Hot Box Gym, great boxers. So I think we've got a lot of talent in South Africa, and we just need the right stepping stones to get to the top.
I want to quickly switch to South African MMA because now we've got a couple of guys that are emerging into the UFC and ONE FC and Bellator. There's a couple of different organizations that they've entered into. Dricus and Don Madge are the two names that sort of stand out in the UFC. What do you make of their career trajectories?
I think they're both going to go right to the top. I mean, Don's super hard worker, very dedicated to his sport, and he loves the game, and he's an absolute animal in the cage. So I don't see him going anywhere except to the title. And Dricus, exactly the same. I mean, he's proven that in the EFC with 2 belts. He went to KSW and won the belt, and now he's in the UFC and won by knockout on his debut on the main card. So he couldn't have asked for anything better. Exactly like Don, and I don't think Don got the credit that he deserved for what he did. The whole country got behind Dricus, and it was amazing to see. And I think once they see Don firing off in exactly the same way, they'll get behind him too. Because it's about building the sport at the end of the day in South Africa, and I think those are the two guys that are going to push it, along with guys like Gareth Soldier Boy, who got in there, Ruan Potts, who was in the UFC. They just sort of broke the ice for the guys like Drickus and Don to get through there and start making a career of it.
Well, that's well said. I mean, exactly. I think Richie says they're the second generation.
Yeah.
I think that's what he would refer to them as. 2021, what's going to be in store for you?
Sure, it's going to be a busy year, obviously. I've got the gym. We've got to make sure this is up and running properly. And then other than that, I've got to sit down with my coach, Peter Smith, see what his sort of plan of attack is. And we get training and we get going. If there's opportunity in different sports, I'm always able to look at competing everywhere.
And then just lastly, a shout out, a thank you to anybody?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's always supported us, and all the people at the gym, all the people around that come and say hello and show their faces, and just everyone that's in our circle. I mean, the support is awesome and we couldn't be more grateful.